Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So it's Friday Freebie Day. So this Friday I'm going to be giving you the February 2022 calendar journal. So the month of February. So because I wanted it to be for the people that aren't on Facebook, it will be in the pack of 4 for the Etsy shop, because I put the Friday freebies in little sets of 4, so you will get January's and February's and 2 of the Friday freebies in between. So then we can start on the February one, and everyone that hasn't had the January one can start on the January one. So I'm going to just show you what we got, and then I'm going to cut it all up, and I will come back to you and show you how I'm going to pop it into the journal this month. So again, we've got the February calendar. The saying for the month, I put abundance of love underneath, because obviously February is Valentine's, so we're going to try and do this with a nice lovey-dovey theme. We have got the February little sign here that we can put on the front of the journal, and our little saying, our little tag we have for this month is: true friends are those who lift you up when no one else has noticed that you have fallen. So I thought that was a nice one. And then we've got our numbers again. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and I'm going to cut these out, and I will be back to show you what I've been doing. Alright guys, see you in a minute. Okay, so I have cut them out. I've cut out the little numbers here, I've cut out our little tag there, and the calendar, and I've popped in 2 of the holes there to pop it into the journal. I've added a little bit of the rose trim down there, because I thought, because of it's February, we want a little bit of red and happiness into this one, don't we? So it's a little bit of a romantic feel through February, I think. The little one that I'm going to pop on the front, I've just added a little bit of lace on the back and one of my hearts. So it's simple as that, and then the little bit of the rose trim, because that is going to go on the front of the journal. So we've got January, and then I'm going to pop February on there as well, and probably March. I'm trying to try and do them in 3s, so at the end of the year we'll have 4 journals, and they can all be different. Different papers and everything in them, so it's entirely up to you, but I thought I would do 3 in each. So I'm going to pop February's on there, so maybe I'll just stick that on now. So that's really simple, just some lace, one of my hearts, heart embellishments, the February 22, and a little bit of the rose trim. So I'm going to just stick that on there now, just with a little bit of fabric tack down there. So let's stick that on like that, just over slightly. Perfect. So that's on there. So that's a good start, isn't it? And I think that looks really nice. Oops, wibbly wobbly. So that's on there. Let's put that to the side. So I've got these pieces ready, and what I thought I would do in this one, I'm going to make, pop the lid on there, a little pocket. So I've taken a piece of my backing papers, the Valentine I Love backing papers, and I folded it in half. I did trim it down a little bit because it was a little bit too big, and I thought I would make a little pocket. I popped out a little notch in the top and punched the holes like that. So I'm going to sew it around this bit. But what I wanted to do first, I'm going to, let me just show you in here what I'm planning to do on this one. So I've left a few pages here which I'm going to finish off January's. So they're January's on this bit, okay, and obviously we can add into that as well. So I thought I'd have this one in here like that, and then we've got February on here, so that's the start of February. And on this one I've got a pocket, so I thought we could have a little pocket to put little bits and pieces in through the month. And then what I want to do is make a couple of pockets to put these into, and I've made them again out of tracing paper. I've just folded a little bit of paper over the top. I'm going to put that on, and then this will just slide in. I've made it with a tracing paper again so we can see. the little words, the phrase on there. So I'm going to pop that onto there. And then I've made another one similar to the one to hold the numbers in from the last one. I've just folded the piece of paper up like that. I need to sew along these bits so they don't come off, because that one's a bit loose. And then this one is going to be on here like that, and then we can just pop the numbers in there. Okay, but what I wanted to do before I do that, let me pop this out of the way a minute so I can show you properly. Before I do that, I'm going to just stick this down, because I'm going to sew around it and when it's actually on here. So I won't sew that bit, but I'm going to sew along this bit and along here, and then also I shall sew this onto here like that. I've got to see where we can put that. I don't want it too high up, so it's got to come down sort of to there, and then I'm going to sew this one on. So just sew around them like that, and I'm going to just sew along here as well before I sew them onto that. And then, well, sew them like that so it's not on both sides, and then I'm going to just fold it in half and then sew this together. So I'll show you when I've done these bits, sewing those on, to see what it looks like. So 2 minutes. Okay, let me just show you first here where I have it sewn along the top of these, and then I do need to stick them down before I start sewing around them, so we've got them in the right place. So that can go on there like that, a little bit further down. I'm going to have it level with the side here so I can just sew around the whole lot. So that's going to be along the bottom of there. So let's just pop a little bit of glue just to hold it in place while I sew, just a tiny bit. Doesn't need a lot. I'm going to pop it right there so we're level with the outside. Let's chop these little bits off. There we go. Like that. And then I will sew this one on. I think I'm going to have to sew around that first. Then I'm going to stick that one on and sew around there. So there we go. 2 seconds. Okay, so that's sewing them onto the page. Let's just get rid of these little bits of cotton on there. So I think that looks good. Let's turn it over. Oh, that didn't sew very well, did it? Good job it's on the inside. Okay, so then that goes like that. We've got our pocket here to put that in. I will probably sew around this little tag there. And then these can go in here. These ones fit in there like that. And these can go in there. So there we go. Perfect. Now I'm going to take these out again. Apologise, my phone was ringing then. Okay, so let's take this out. Now I did think about popping just a little bit of lace in between here, like that. Just so it pops out the edge. So before I sew it, I can just stick it in there, just so it pops out a little bit. I thought would look quite nice, wouldn't it? Yes, shall we do that? Stick this down. Maybe I will actually, before I do that, I'm going to sew along here, all the way along, just so it gives it a little bit of extra strength on there. I'm going to open it and close it, not open it and close it, but so this doesn't rip. Okay, I will be 2 seconds, hang on. Okay, so there we go. Let's just chop these bits off. So that's better, isn't it? So we've got a little bit of machine sewing through there, which I think looks really nice. So now we can pop the little bit of lace in between. A tiny bit of glue just down the side, and then take this. Don't want it to stick out too much, but we can just stick that down like that. That looks good, doesn't it? And then we can just chop this little bit off here. Okay. Perfect. That looks nice. Maybe I'll have a little bit. Should I put a little bit on the bottom? Let me get that back. What would that look like? Couldn't we? That would look quite nice, wouldn't it? Let's stick it along there. Put that on there. There we are. Perfect. And I'm going to just snip that little bit off there, like that. And that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Okay, so now I am going to, let's just glue this just down so it doesn't move while I sew. So I'm going to sew all the way around, and I'm going to sew up here as well, so it goes all the way around there, and then that will hold this little pocket in there as well. Okay, so I will be back. There we go. I love that. I think that looks really nice. So we've got this lovely pocket in there to pop all little bits and pieces in, and then on this side we've got our little pocket there, and then we can see on there. So I will go around that later and pop our numbers in here, all our little days in here, like this. Pop these in like that, which works lovely. So there we go. Love that pocket. So let's pop this into our calendar journal. So I'm going to have this one this side on here, so that's the start, and this one on this side. This is how I love it. So pleased I did the ring binder, because we can just add all sorts of bits. So doesn't that look nice? So that's a really good start to the February one. Now what can we put on here? Let's pop a little bit of something else, shall we? We've got a few more little words that we could use. Let's take some of these out. A big pile of them here. We could, I love the way you love me. So these, we can pop all of these on here, couldn't we? I love these ones. So I could just make up a few little ones. Maybe I'll just put darling there. I quite like that. I think that looks really nice. I was going to, with these little words and phrases, pop them or print them onto sticker paper. So then I've got little stickers and cut them out instead of sticking them on. So I might actually do that. Let's pop a little bit of cheesecloth underneath, shall we? Love my cheesecloth. Let's pop that on there, and then maybe, no we don't, it'll be a bit too much I think. So we've got it under here, a little bit of cheesecloth, and then the word. Perfect. Doesn't that look lovely? And then if I want to, I can dingle some little hearts off here or something like that. So we've got all sorts of bits to put in there. We can little notes and everything. So that's the start of our February. I will be adding to it, I'm going to be adding, these are the rest out of the kit, this sort of like add-on kit, which I think these colours would go perfectly through February, because they're obviously the nice sort of like reds and oranges and yellows, because on the 1st, on January, I did the purples and greens and blues. So I think these would look lovely for February. So I shall be doing something with these as well next week. So I love that. So there we go, guys. That is your Friday freebie for this week. It is on Etsy now. So you can print off the January, February, and the 2 that were in between, which were the journal cards. I don't really have them with me at the moment, but they do go well with the book as well. So there we go, guys. That's your Friday freebie for this week. Oh, the other thing I was going to show you, I've got these which I found, which are quite, I've had these for a long time. I've got these little tiny heart crystals, which I thought I would mark the days with, like that. So they're tiny little pink heart crystals, so I think they are lovely. So I'm going to use those as well on here, because on, where are we, beginning of January, I just used the little purple sequins just to mark the days on there, which I love. So lots of different ideas. So there we are. So take care, have a lovely weekend, and I will see you soon. All right guys, bye bye.